Okay, so apologies no for the interruption of the video from the part 1 no because nag-overheat yung laptop ko uh, as I was recording this lecture lesson. Anyway, I'll just continue as wait lang, asan na tayo? Okay. 0. Okay, so now going back to what I was trying to say, no. Once again, this is a common practice. Ito, I is equals, ito yung gusto kong i-emphasize. I is equals to 0 and then I is less than to 20. Actually, meron pa itong mas madaling approach. But, ito, no, this can be anyway, going back to my main point, no. Once again, it's a common practice in programming that if you want to access all your all the indexes no sa array mo no one by one, you start with the first index, the second index, and then the third index, so on and so forth, until such time you will reach the last index, and then you end your loop. This is a common practice no kasi yun nga, for int I is equals to 0. Bakit yung I natin dito sa loop starts with 0 is because our index starts at 0, syempre. So the moment na wait lang I'll just copy this one. Oops. Okay, so the moment that di ba yung I natin is initialized as 0 kasi is intentionally on purpose kasi yung we will start reading at index 0, okay? Index 0 tayo magsa-start. We all know that the first index or the first storage sa ating array is starts at index 0. So that's why 0 so once we once yung loop natin start executing codes in its body, so this one I will be force 0, diba? So score 0 is equals to what? Sana yun? Yung custom input niya is ito, right? Okay. So score 0 is equals to input next double. So syempre our scanner will first read the first number or double that's in our input, so 5 no. So therefore score 0 is equals to scores index 0 is equals to 5, so kanon. And then once again proceed na naman siya, you know, just like what I shown you a while ago. After incrementing, so ang I natin, this will become I is now equals to 1. So therefore, on our next execution of our loop, we will now access the index 1. So whatever is syempre yung since next double man to, so syempre our scanner will read the next input, which is 3. So therefore scores array at index 1 is equals to 3. So now the value of itong value na to, this will now be assigned at our scores array at index 1. So you see, if we're going to follow no, let's say makompleto na yung loop natin, and it will terminate and it will proceed with the next codes sa baba. So expected that our array will now contain the following values. So I'm just going to type the values right here. So this one is 8.5, this one is 9, this one is 10, 1, 2.5, 3.5, 4, 2, 1, 1. Wait lang. I think I missed, ayun, ito, ano ko. I missed this one. May dalawang 10 pala to dito. Sorry. Okay, so, yun. This, after executing this code, tapos, let's say, matatapos na yung Java program natin, proceed with this line of code, no? So, it's expected that our array will now have, ito na yung magiging itsura niya, no? And it will now contain 20 values, no, in which you na pwede mo ma-access anytime, no. And it depends on your code, no. Basta this portion right here, basically what it does is just it will assign all the values input natin, and it will put it into the array sa scores na array na natin, no. And then on this next line right here, okay, so dito, by the way, dito kasali sa loop, ha, dito kasali, not unless we have a curly bracket right here and then curly bracket right here, pwede pa ito kasali ito, but this one, yung loop hanggang dito lang yung scope nya. Okay, so right here, let's focus on this one, the second loop. So now an array starts with index 0. So syempre, now what our code is trying to achieve is it will access each index, tapos whatever is yung value niya, i-add natin sa sum, i-accumulate natin sa sum. So sum natin is sum is equals to 0, no? Okay, so saan ba tong value na to nanggaling? It's right here, no, sa taas, no. It already has a value of 0. So now let's see. Okay, so I is equal to 0 because we'll start at index I once again, no, and then we will end at index 19, no. Hanggang 19 lang yung na magiging true yung loop, no. Pagdating ng 20, it will end kasi once we lumampas tayo, we will have an exception or an error, no? Magsa-stop yung program natin unexpectedly. Okay? So be careful with this one. Okay? Na hindi pwedeng you will attempt to access an index that doesn't exist, no. Anyway, sum is equals to sum. So what's the current value of sum? It's 0, obviously, plus scores array, no, at index, saan ba tayo? Yung I natin is 0, so obviously this will be index 0. So sum 0 plus 5. So now our sum, ito, change na yung value niya into 5. Okay, and then we increment. After increment, I will become 1. So next, sum, of course we check the condition, right? I, which is equals to 1, is less than 20. This is true. So if this is true, we will execute our codes below. So sum, okay, sum equals, so this is assignment, so expected that our mapapalitan na yung value ng sum natin, no, whatever is the value right here, numbers right here. So sum will now be equal to the current value of sum, which is 5, plus now plus naman tayo, so this is already 1, diba? 1 na dapat to. Okay, so sum 5, scores index 1, which is 3. So 5 plus 3, which is equals to 8. So sum now is equals to 8. Okay, and then of course we increment. Now I becomes 2. This is already 2 as well, no? So next, check the condition is 2 less than 20. That's true. So now we execute once again. Our sum will be replaced with new value, which is equals to whatever the current value of this 2 na. So, sum is equals to 8 and then scores index 2 is 4. So therefore 8 plus 4 is 12. So now masasabi natin that sum is equals to 12. Okay, ang overall value nito is 12. So therefore this one is now 12. So you see, you try to trace this on your own. Study the code in this one in particular. Okay, and perhaps you could create your own array na may mga boxes. Start to see the marirealize mo that this code it's trying to do is it will add all the values in here in our scores, no? So 5 plus 3 plus 4 plus 10. So nag-start yung sum natin with 0 plus siya by 5 and then pinlas na naman siya by 3, pinlas na naman siya by 4, by 10, 32, so on and so forth until we reach the last index, tapos. And then after that, whatever is the value of our average. Sorry, ano nangyari? Lang. Let me just copy. Average is equals to sum divided by 20. So finally ito, this variable will now have a value na, no? Kasi wala pa siyang value dito at line 8, no, ng average na variable. This value will now be equal to kung ano yung result, no, whatever is the value right here divided by 20. And therefore pagdating sa last line, whatever is the value of our average, yun yung piprint natin. And we'll see, no, by executing this code. Okay, so we have the output. The average score of the gymnast is 4.775. So yun, once again, these are all the scores from our 20 judges. We get the average by dividing it by 20 kasi 20 mo to sila. And then yun, the result is this. So I hope that you already realized how convenient, no, how convenient is an array, no. Especially if we're going to add all the elements, no, in an array. You just use loops, no, to do that. Okay, very common yan on approach. Array. So we're almost done. Okay, in gymnastics competition, one of the lowest score in the computation of the final score of the gymnast. So here's a side quest. Check the code below where the lowest score is searched. Update the score below. Search for. So this is your part, no. This is your part, and you study, no. Okay, you study this line of code. If just like what we did, no, we just trace the outputs, the current value of our variables. You can do this manually, no, on your paper. Okay, yan. Okay, so this one, once again, we are using once again loops, no, kasi yung goal is to iisa-isahin natin i-access yung mga array indexes, no. So nag-start siya with index 1 kasi we've already navigated, no. Nakuha na natin yung first element, no, sa array natin, no? And we assign it as the lowest, no, so the lowest na variable. Okay, so I guess let's see, no, let's execute this code. These are our inputs and we will determine the lowest score is 1. So klaro man, no, we can verify it to ourselves. 1 no. So correct yung code natin, and I guess that's all. And okay, here's the last one for each array traversal. So there was a mention on for each in the loop construct in Java. So diba, as you can recall in the previous lesson, so there are 4 pala, no, not just 3 but 4 types of loops, no, sa Java, no. We also have the for each. So they are usually used with arrays instead of using iterators and indexes, no, like we did. There's actually an easier way, no. For each might prove more efficient. So eto yan. Okay, so this is the for loop, for each loop na ibigyang sabihin. This one, do not pay attention muna with this one. You focus on this one. Each loop, ang yung syntax niya is, of course, it has 2 parts, no, dalawang parts. Okay, and they are separated by a colon. So this one is the individual variable, no? To make it not confusing, whatever is the data type ng array natin, so yung array natin is double yung data type, so dapat double to. Okay, dapat match yung data type ng array to our data type right here sa ating loop, and then colon. This one here, the scores, this is the name of our array right here. Okay, so the name of our array is so we make sure na whatever is the name ng ating array, it should be similar right here. And this one, basically we are just declaring an individual variable na double yung data type niya, no? Kasi the magic of this one, this one shortens our code for loop kanina, no. So it's this one works, how this one works is pretty much the same as yung for loop kanina na ginamit natin. Ito to, this one, no. Kung ano yung ginawa natin dito, pero yung gandahan nito, we don't need to do this one, no. Automatic na that for each loop, yung variable ng score, no, for each time that this loop will navigate the I think parang nalilito na kayo. So let's check this one. Okay, so I will like this. Okay, so let's say this is our scores, para this is our scores na array, and let's say meron siyang values, no. So in our for each loop, so again, this is an individual variable, and this is the name of our array, which is this one, no. So this line of code, this will repeat until such time na navigate na niya is lahat ng array indexes, no. So syempre this for each loop will start at the index 0. Okay, so magsisimula to at index 0. Therefore the current value of our score is equals to 5. Okay, for the first loop niya, automatic yung score, yung variable natin na score yung value niya is 5 because our for each loop starts at index 0. So this one, if score, which is 5, is less than lowest, so whatever is the value here, kung true to, it will execute this one. Let's say tapos na siya dito, no? So after that, automatic i-update na niya ni for each loop. Magiging 3 na yung value ni score. And then once again, this one will now be uulitin naman ni for loop, for each loop yung yung codes dito. So this time the score will be 3 less than lowest, and then so on and so forth. After the next pangalawang loop, for the third loop, automatic change na yung value ng score, magiging 4 na yan. Okay? For the fourth loop, 10 na. For the fifth loop, 3 na. For the sixth loop, ito na yung value niya. So, and so on and so forth until so on. So, very convenient if that's what you want to navigate all your variables without yung kanina, without do. But there are actually advantages and disadvantages. But yeah. Okay, so I guess this one is already code na to siya. So kaya na yung nito, magso-solve nito for this one. And I guess that's wait lang. Now, let me just go back to there's something that I missed, no, that you need to also know. So going back here, 'di ba yung size ng double natin is ng scores natin is 20. Now here's a much more convenient way, no, para hindi ka malito dito. You could accidentally input a number that will cause your program to exit, unfortunately, no, unexpectedly. So instead of putting a constant value ng 20, you could just simply do this one, score that